Hi guys, welcome back to Chess the Matthew. So on this video, we will tackle about the Sicilian Dragon on the Levenfish Variation. So the setup being start with the move of e4, c5, and after knight f3, d6, d4, c6 d4, knight x d4, knight f6, and after the move of knight c3 and g6. So this is now the so-called dragon variation of the Sicilian Defense, in which the significance here to the set opening is that the pawn structure. So here after g6, the white here may play f4, and we shall enter now the Levenfish variation after bishop g7. So here after bishop g7 a block, the white here will simply play bishop b5, giving a check first, so that after bishop f5 check, it force now the black here to cover the check, and again after this check it vacates now the f1, in which the white king here can castle later on the king side. So after bishop g5 check, if the black here will simply block the check with knight c6, but there is a simple trick after the capture on c6, and after b takes c6 and bishop takes c6, then it relies now the fork technique against the black. Another idea after the move bishop b5 check, in which the black here can cover the check with knight b to d7, but after knight b to d7, the white here still has an initiative after e5, attacking the knight, and after the knight escaped the attack from the pawn, but there is a simple e6, trying to have a simple capture on f7 and to force the black king here to have no right to castling. And if the black here will grab that pawn, but there is a simple knight takes to e6 with a fork, and again with a strong post on this e6 square, and after some couple of moves after bishop takes c3, b takes c3, queen e5, attacking the bishop, but there is a simple kingside castling, and we shall see in this position now that the white here has an initiative with a strong attack against the black king on the center. So after bishop b7 check, another try for the black is to cover the check with knight f to d7, but there's simple bishop to a3, and after kingside casting for black, queen to d2, a6, and bishop to e2, still the white here has slight advantage with a smooth development of his pieces. So here we go after bishop b5 check. The black here should cover the check with the bishop to d7, so that after e5, the black here can simply hop his knight to h5, and after, let's say for example after g4 attacking that knight, but there's simple knight takes f4, and after bishop takes f4, and there is d takes to e5 a fork, and again the black here has an initiative on the board. So after knight h5, the white here should play queen to e2. So after bishop takes to b5, queen takes b5 check, and after queen to d7, the white here can simply grab that queen, and after knight takes to d7, g4, and again for the black move, in which the black should remember to play d takes to e5. Because if, for example, after g4, if the black here will simply grab the pawn, but after bishop takes f4, although there is a fork after d takes to e5, but again there is a counter fork technique after knight b to d2, eyeing to knight c7, giving a fork to the king and rook. And again, if the king will escape, or if the rook will escape to the fork, then this bishop will easily get escape from the attack of this pawn. So after g4, the black here should play d takes e5, so that after knight b to d7, there is a simple rook c8. And after, for example, grabbing some pawn after knight takes a7, in which, for example, after this position, the white here should not grab this knight, because after G takes h5, there's simple a6, and after knight to a3, again after d takes to f4 and bishop takes f4, there is simple a capture on the c3, and after a recapture, rook takes, and again the black here can simply have an equal game. For example, even though the white here can simply give a defense to his knight, but we shall see in this position now that all of the pieces of the white is actually passive by just defending to each other. And later on, after f6 for black, then the black here can simply connect his rooks. For example, after kingside castling, capture, king move, and rook, and then this black rook will help some of the attack and a control on this file, and maybe later on he can play rook here to g4 and again trying to pressure down the pieces of white. So after here, after rook c8, in which the white here should play knight takes to a7, but again the black here has a positional sacrifice after rook takes to c3, because after b takes to c3, here comes the capture on f4, because after rook b1 trying to uh, grab this undefended pawn, but there's a simple move of b6, and we shall see in this position now that the white here has only one pawn for his knight, and we shall see in this position now again that the white here has a strong pass pawn on the e file that will actually equalize the material deficit of black. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe.